Welcome back, you turds, to another episode of Michael and Stephanie Are Too Lazy and Unmotivated to Do a Scrapbook. I've been riding racing this thing lately because, well, if you've ever talked to me at the track, you know the KTM just wasn't a good fit for me. I tried a lot of different stuff, but it just seemed I couldn't ride it more than a couple times without something weird on it breaking and being out of a bike. That, and I think I struggled to get used to the steel frame. It was just, even after the suspension was done up and I tried messing with it and getting it tuned right, it was just anytime I'd come up short on something or overshoot something, it was a very violent landing and it'd either make me crash or just come close to it. I think I honestly regressed as a rider, got a little more timid on the bike. I decided to dump some money into this, freshen it up, had Barkley Motors do a top end, service the valves, had JMR service the rear shock and the forks, and Barkley Motors also threw in new linkage bearings, new swing arm bearings, new stem bearings. The idea was to pretty much have a brand new 2019 KX450, which has been my favorite bike I've ever owned. I just really meshed well with this one. But if you watched our last vlog, my oil filter cover, that green thing, started leaking oil, and I found out it was cracked and had to get a new one. So that was just the beginning of me realizing that even though just about everything on this, minus the bottom end, still has 200 plus hours on it, and it's only a matter of time before stuff starts going wrong with it and I need to be spending money on it every single week. After racing the last couple weekends, I really want to do some more of that. Probably drop down to the 30C class and do some bigger races this year when I turn 30 in January. So I decided to trade the KTM at Toutle Motorsports with the idea of getting a 2025 KX450. But my decision-making skills that closely resemble a squirrel trying to cross the street didn't let me walk out with my fifth Cowie, so I ended up getting this. Done the break-in cycles where you only go about half throttle for 20 minutes, let it cool, go half throttle for 20 minutes, let it cool, and just that half throttle, man, this thing is a monster. I am excited to get out this weekend and ride it on a track, but weather has been looking iffy around here, so I think it might be difficult to find a track, so we'll see how that goes. Also, if you're planning on buying like a 24 or 25 Yamaha, no matter who you are, if you're planning on racing, ask about Blue Crew racer support, which I did. Basically fill out an application. The dealer sends it off to Yamaha and Blue Crew, and then they get an email back in a couple weeks, supposedly, pretty much saying you have, so much money to spend at their dealership on parts or whatever. I'm not sure exactly what they'll let you spend that money on, but with this thing, supposedly here in about a week or so, I should be getting an email saying I have $1,000 to spend at Toutle Motorsports on pretty much whatever I want. Neat thing about the bike, if you haven't owned a Yamaha, gas tank is actually under here, as well as air filters up there. Now there's a lot of people that say, oh, you can drill some holes along here to get more air, so get a little more power out of the bike. I'm like, I don't think it needs it right now. Like, this thing honestly reminds me of Stephanie's 19 CRF 450, and that thing kind of scared me. Just so much power, and honestly, nobody needs a 450, but I like them because, well, I'm lazy. So, we tried going to Medford last night to camp, but no one was going to be there until 2 p.m. today. So, we changed course, and even though it might be a little bit wet, came out here to Rivardale just to get some more time in on the bike and see how she works on the track. Well, after a few times out, starting to get the feel of the bike, but also riding my two least favorite things, sand and mud. And already had my first real crash on it finally, but I think I'm gonna go out a couple more times, maybe get some GoPro footage of me struggling, and save my energy for tomorrow at Albany, when I'm sure it'll be a lot better, and really get used to it there. Also think she's gonna need a bath tonight.
Yamaha. We're out here at Albany Motorsports Park for the Motocross Direct Ride Day, and hopefully it should be pretty good. Seats are kind of wet.
Yeah, but the ground out there isn't too deep.
Yeah, I was gonna say they tilled it pretty shallow.
And I mean, look, there's not that many people here.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't really break in very good if there was only this amount of people. It would be very, you know, like 1 or 2 lines, and then you have all that.
I think they should, not too many more people show up. They should just do it like Cali and just have like, you know, 30 minutes little bike, 30 minutes big bike. Or
20.
big bike slow, big bike fast, and then minis. Let the minis ride whatever big bike class they want. I think day 2 of riding is done and over with. I'm about toasted from riding a few motos here at Albany today and riding some motos at Rivardale yesterday. And so far I'm starting to get real comfortable on the Yamaha. Like just about everything about it. The bars seem a little bit narrower than I'm used to. There's a piece of the plastic, I think that piece right there, always end up catching my boot on. But other than that, it's pretty good. Also, I noticed today that fork seals are leaking. So, I don't know if that's a result of riding Riverdale yesterday, having a lot of flat landings on jumps here today, or just, hate to say it, but poor manufacturing on Yamaha's part. But we'll see. I'll try and get it home, get it apart, and clean out those fork seals and see if we can't make them work right, because I'm supposed to be heading to California the weekend after next, and next weekend possibly racing Moto 541. Still up in the air. Not sure if I want to do that or not yet, but I'll see you next time.